certain people say, well, dating's just to have a good time.
Or dating's to try the shoes on before I buy the shoes.
Yeah. And then others say dating is for marriage. I'm dating because I want to get married.
Right.
So you have to define what it is, the reason. Why are you dating?
Right.
Is it to practice? Are you new at dating? Is it because your friends are dating and you're like, I need to get out there too?
Right.
Or is it because you're trying to find a spouse and you're like, this is the way I do it?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to season number 5 with Stephen and Corey and Get It Together. Hey, I'm Stephen
and I'm Corey, and we are excited to bring you another series of Get It Together shows. And this year or this season, we are starting to do a couple of new things that we want to share with you. And it's only because of the requests we've been getting. And as we're in our podcast, as it's maturing, we're finding our footing as far as what people are looking for.
Yes. In this particular episode, we are focusing on dating advice.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we qualify to be able to talk about this because essentially we have been dating for 44 years.
Yes. And
that's right. 44 years of dating.
Okay. Is it a struggle? Because it sounds like it's a struggle.
No, it's great. I'm just wanting to
warm up the crowd.
I'm just wanting to position ourselves that we are an authority on this.
That's true. That's true.
We are an authority on dating, and we're going to talk about it.
Yeah.
Right?
And we used to teach a young marrieds class and a marriage class in Sunday school. So we had met those people when they first got married, the young marrieds, and they talk about, well, when I was dating, it wasn't like this, or, we still have the dating fever. So we're going to help you understand the beauty in dating.
That's
and what is dating for? What is dating for? Dating, some people think dating is, I'm sorry, I took it right from you. Go ahead.
Let me just say this, before you get started. That's one of the advices I guess we should give in dating is like, guys, just let her talk, okay?
That's good.
Anyway, but listen, our only dating advice is number 1, be everything that you want the other person to be. Mm-hmm. You be it.
Yeah.
That's how it starts. In fact, it never ends, but we're going to get into that.
Right.
So go ahead.
Okay. So what I was going to say, or what I was saying is, what do you think dating is for? Because certain people say, well, dating's just to have a good time.
Or dating's to try the shoes on before I buy the shoes.
Yeah. And then others say dating is for marriage. I'm dating because I want to get married.
Right.
So you have to define what it is, the reason. Why are you dating?
Right.
Is it to practice? Are you new at dating? Is it because your friends are dating and you're like, I need to get out there too?
Right.
Or is it because you're trying to find a spouse and you're like, this is the way I do it? And as far as trying on the shoes, you know what they say? You don't buy a car off the lot without driving it. But guess what, guys? Everybody returns that car. You don't have that car for life. Okay. So if you think that you need to drive.
Hold on. What did you say? You don't have that car for life.
Yeah, it's true.
It's true. Funny.
You're buying a car because, and here's the other thing.
Right.
Don't you think you have to sign a contract before you can take that car out and try it?
That's
right. You
right.
have to sign a contract, and usually somebody in the dealership has to be with you when you drive that car.
That's right.
So don't tell me I have to practice. I have to figure her out or him out, or I got to size him up before I marry him. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And we're talking about sexually. I don't buy a car unless I drive it first.
That's what they say,
But here's the other thing. Before you buy the car, do you check under the engine? No, most people don't. Yeah. Most people do not look under the engine, and they see how well the car is made. The car is the other person. So checking under the engine is dating. You see how the person's made.
Right. I was going to say though too, there's a lot other dynamics in terms of what's going on in the world these days. But again, if we get back to the basics, let's talk about number 1, okay, that you've got down here. Number 1, you say, be healthy. So what do you mean by that? Let's talk about that.
Take care of yourself. First of all, take care of yourself, because you're only going to attract that which you're like. Okay. If you eat candy and sugary sweets and you think that's fun, you're going to attract that, which means you're both going to probably blow up if you're not already blown up. You're not going to have good health.
Yeah.
You're going to have emotional conflicts. You're not going to have good concentration in your conversation because you're so used to a hot sugar high. That's just one example to be healthy.
Be healthy, yeah.
The other thing is, when you're healthy, you can do more.
Right. Yeah.
You can have more fun.
Right.
You can be more creative.
You feel better about yourself, too,
yes.
if you're healthy,
and
right?
that's for you. You can do more. If you're healthy, you can get out there and you can maybe paddleboard, or you can horseback ride, or you can ride a...
Well, that actually gets into, you say here, be physically fit.
When the healthy goes to fit.
Yeah.
But the body health allows you to be the fit person.
Yeah.
The body health also allows your mind to be clear.
Well, here's another thing, though. There is obviously someone listening to this that really wants to understand at the very granular, sort of micro level, what do you mean by be healthy? Can you give some specific, examples?
Well,
what's that look like?
There's health in all aspects. There's physical health. Right. There's emotional health. There's spiritual health.
Oh, that's good.
There's psychological health. And there's what you put in your mouth health.
Right.
So healthy.
Let's deal with that one first.
What you intake. What you put in, you put out. What you put in creates you. If you eat a lot of fresh vegetables, organic fruits and meats, grass-fed meats, or if you eat all those healthy things, if you eat whole, real milk, grass-fed from a grass-fed cow milk, when you eat all those healthy things, your body looks like it. You have less wrinkles as you age. You have less acne. You have stronger hair. You have stronger nails. You have better teeth, whiter teeth. This is all what you put in that mouth when you drink your 80 to 100 ounces of water a day. That's water, good. Not soda, not juice, water. And then everything else that you want to drink along with that.
Right.
When you don't have alcohol, heavy alcohol every night. That's your skin. That's your mind. Right. That's your vocal cords. Right. That's everything that's your joints.
So ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about, if you're wanting some really core dating advice, number one,
be healthy.
Be healthy.
And you'll attract that.
But again, you be healthy.
Yes. Well, that's what I'm saying. When you be healthy, you won't be able to stand being around people who aren't healthy.
Who are unhealthy,
You'll be
right?
like, that is so unhealthy.
Right. So that's a good point. The antithesis of be healthy is
you attract.
No. The opposite is to be sick. So you want to be healthy.
Yes.
So that you don't.
When you go on that date and that person across from you orders, you're like, what are they ordering?
Oh, yeah.
What are they eating?
That's good.
I think I'll just leave now. Excuse me, check. I'll just, Or
she said she'd just leave now.
Text your friend and say, call me. I have an emergency. Because you realize I'm involved with and that's just the health, physical, the eating. Then
next year
no. We got to keep, this show might be all about be healthy. Maybe I might have to do another about being physical. But then you have your emotional health. Are you taking time with yourself?
Right.
Are you thinking about the things that you say before you say them? What are you input and output? What are you taking in? How are your emotions? Are you letting people run you down? Are you running other people down? Are you lifting people up? Are you around people that lift you up? That's the emotions.
That's good.
That's the emotions. And the psychological is, why do you do it? Do you have a healthy psyche? Why I do this is to better myself. Why do I do this is to enrich my life.
Preach it, girl.
I am. I'm about to take an offering.
She's on a roll.
But why do you do the things you do? The emotional health is important. Because then when you have a conversation on a date and somebody across from you is talking all this negativity and how down they are, or somebody did something wrong to them, and I've had a woe with me, you're like, I can't be around that. That is not a healthy emotion right there. So that's the emotional. So we have what you take in, what you eat, how your emotions are, then your spiritual health.
That's right.
If you're not spiritually healthy, and what does that look like?
Okay.
What does spiritual health look like? You answer that one.
I mean, again, if you don't believe in there's a higher power, if you don't believe in, the fact that something bigger than you and I has transpired, then that's a problem, because in my opinion, you're going to have a jaded sense of the world and humanity and so forth.
Yeah, because then you become your own God.
Yeah.
Whether you focus on Buddha, whether you focus on God, whatever you focus on, if it's a higher power that is a positive spiritual influence for you, we particularly suggest God. But when you have a higher power, when you have something that is bigger and deeper than you, spiritually, you feel connected to something, because literally we are spirits that live in a body. When we live in that body functions a certain way because of the spiritual connection we have.
It's good.
So again, healthy spirit.
Healthy spirit. Let's move on. So next is be physically fit. Be physically fit. Now, the reality is that some people, okay, they're not physically fit, but everything they like is physically fit. So guys, if you're hanging around and you're not physically fit, and all of a sudden, your dream about your dream woman, and she's, the whole hourglass shape and all that kind of stuff, and you're not a good look.
Yeah.
Not a good look.
Keep going with that, yeah.
So I'm just saying, again, you got to be that first, gentleman. You have to be that first. If you're looking for a female wife who's physically fit, what about you?
However,
Are you physically
let's
fit?
talk about your path, because you didn't do it for a woman. You did it for yourself.
I did it for myself.
So talk about that from high school.
I was a fat kid, okay? I was a fat kid in grade school and high school. And then I got involved in the martial arts, okay?
Wait. Did you get in the martial art involved to lose weight, or did you get involved because you liked martial arts?
I got involved because a buddy of mine in school was doing it, and I liked it.
Okay.
I did enjoy it.
So that's the other thing. You did it because you enjoyed it. You didn't say, I'm going to lose weight, and then you do something you hate. Okay, go ahead.
Again, so I really got involved in that, and I started running and lifting weights and that kind of thing. And I dropped maybe 80 pounds or something like that. So when I went off to college, guess what? I have a lot of people that were giving me attention.
Women. Well, you probably had women and men.
That's true. But go ahead.
No, go ahead. Physically fit. So why but you did it for the purpose of you.
For me.
The outcome was you attracted that which you have become.
That's correct.
But when you were fat, you weren't attracting that which you wanted.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. So be physically fit. That's number 2. This is a great one for you. Be kind. Be kind. Let me just say this before she talks on this, okay? Frankly, my wife actually now, but then before when we were dating, is literally one of the most kind people I have ever met in my life. As a matter of fact, that's one of the things that actually attracted me to her. She was so kind and ultra considerate. I mean, just like so considerate. She actually is the first woman that actually took me to dinner. She invited me to dinner. I mean, my God, that's a very kind thing. Do you remember that?
I do. Yeah.
Do you remember that? That was so compelling. I'm like, I need to keep her. I mean, I did invite her to church. If you heard our, if you heard our last episode of season 4, we talked about how she found Christ and went to church and that kind of thing. And I invited her to church. She invited me to dinner.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think she actually paid for it too, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Now I've paid for everything since then, but
my payment was called an investment.
Right. So let's talk about that kindness. Where do you find that? And it's just like so natural for you.
I don't know how to say where I found it. I think it's always been there.
But what does it mean in a dating relationship? Let's put it that way.
Well, thinking about, you have to be kind to yourself first.
Oh, that's good.
Then you know how to be kind to others.
Oh, that's really good.
You can't hate yourself. You can't beat yourself.
Hold on. You have to be kind to yourself first. That's huge.
Yeah. And that comes with restraint also, because you can't spoil yourself. Like, I'll be the first person to tell myself, Corey, you did that wrong.
Yeah.
However, I give myself grace. And I think kindness comes with grace because you don't know other people's stories. That's good. You don't know where they're at.
Right.
And when you see someone that acts a certain way, you can immediately first think, which again, that's your healthy emotion. Right. Why are they acting like that? As opposed to, I wonder why they're acting like that.
Yeah.
Same word, why are they acting like that? Except a different attitude.
Yes.
And the kindness comes from just considering other people's lives. You just consider their lives, and you don't know their story.
Right.
And everybody's story is not the same. That's why they're called stories.
Yeah, that's good.
So I think the kindness just, and you guys, he's being really nice. There are times I'm really nice, but cut me one time.
No, but her natural tendency
it is to be kind first.
To be kind. In fact, frankly, to be totally transparent, that has been kind of a little sticking point at times for us in our marriage and our dating, because I would say to her, you're far too kind. Why did you do that? That kind of thing. So again, being kind is
what you want to be, because you're looking for, and if you're looking for someone kind, if you're looking for someone ruthless and hard knock and just mean, and you're that, then be that. You'll attract it.
Yeah.
But when you're kind, you can't handle that. Right. That will totally wipe you out. So again, these are things that you want to be.
Right.
We think. You may say, I don't want to be healthy. I don't want to be physically fit, and I don't want to be kind.
But then you're going to attract someone exactly like that.
Yeah.
That's the issue here.
And I want to get back to the physically fit also.
Sure.
It's so that you can do things.
Right.
You know, you said, I asked you, why did you do martial arts? Because you wanted to try it. You didn't do it to lose weight.
Right.
You did it because you wanted to try it.
It was an outcome.
It was an outcome, right. So when you can do things, I can remember my mom, she was the greatest mom.
Your mom was awesome. She did a lot of things.
My mom was my best friend through high school. And how many times can you say in your
girlfriend? If you're watching this, Donna, there you go. Some kudos for you.
You know, how many times can you say in high school, my mom's my best friend?
Yeah.
You know, when the emotions are popping in female girls in high school, and my mom was my best friend. Yeah. And she taught us how to play tennis. We had a swimming pool. She didn't even swim, but she wanted us to know how to swim.
Yeah, that's great.
You know, she played golf. We bowling alley bowling. Wow. We've horseback ridden. You know, all these things that we did. My mom encouraged that. We played softball on a community softball league. My sister was in basketball. My other sister was in softball. I was in cheerleading and track. Oh, my sister and I were in cheerleading and track. She was in softball. I was in cheerleading and track. And I got to tell you something. Because we were physically fit, we wouldn't even consider looking at somebody who wasn't.
Right, exactly.
But the wise thing with my mom was when we would go on a date, they'd say, where you want to go? You want to go to the movies? We're like, you want to play tennis?
Yeah, that's good.
They're like, okay.
That's a good one.
It's like, you can't get frisky on the tennis court.
Right, yeah.
You want to go bowling? So she was smart. She taught us to do fun things. I
like that.
And we loved doing them. So if we were attracted to someone and we were going to go on a date, we're going to go do fun things. And they're like, oh, you don't want to just sit in a movie theater and kiss? No, no, I want to go out and do something, you know? And so that's smart because as you're dating, you see that physically fit person.
Right.
And it can be attractive. So, okay, we did the be kind. I just wanted to get back on the physically fit.
No, that's good. Yeah. Here's the next one. Be smart. Be smart. Man, I'll tell you, think about the opposite of that. Be dumb.
No, stupid. Because dumb means you can't speak. Stupid is the opposite of smart.
It's really incredible that if you don't focus on these kind of things, that you could actually, by default, actually attract something that you really don't want to attract because you're not that. So again, if you want to attract someone who is smart, then guess what?
Be smart.
You be smart.
And you just said if some people don't want to focus on those things.
Right.
But guess what? Those things become the focus.
Yes.
Because you haven't focused on it.
Yes, it's good.
You know, you attract someone. We know of a woman who married a gentleman who was not as smart as her.
Yes.
He chose not to go to college. She went to college. She graduated top of her class in college.
Yeah, right.
He didn't even go to college because he was like, I don't know what I want to do. Well, you know, go the first year and figure it out. You know, not that college is the end result.
That's a clue.
Yeah, I don't know what I want to do. Yeah. Everybody knows freshmen in college still don't know. They think they know what they want to do. But it's your area. And you told our daughters, even if you don't finish college, go to school so that you can learn how to get along with other people in a dorm or get along with other people outside of your high school. It's the next level. You go high school, then you go to college or trade school, and then you go to the world.
That's right.
So for this woman to have gone to college, graduate top of her class in all these clubs, the dean knew her, everything. And then she dated a guy who didn't go to college. And she was like, well, you know, that's his... Their genius was not there. There was no genius. There was no communication in the smart realm.
Right.
And it was a disappointment for her.
Right.
And for him, he always felt like I'm not as smart as her. Well, yeah, you're not.
Yeah.
So you shouldn't have married up. You know, because and there are people who do marry up. I think I married up because he's so smart. Yeah. But I knew I was smart. But he's just so smart. And I was like, oh, I'm keeping that.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us, we're talking about dating advice, okay? Dating advice. It's coming to you from 44 years of us dating each other and 42 years being married. But I will say this, on this whole piece about being smart, it's very important because what we say, if you want a smart person, then you be that. So you be smart.
And you don't have to be as smart as them, but just be aware, gather knowledge, seek knowledge, and seek information so that you are not lost in conversations.
Right.
If you're having a conversation with other people, you're like, I have no idea what they're talking about. Well, then, you know what? In today's technology, which was not back then in 44 years ago, but today's technology, you can search a subject and go, okay, I can be more fluent in that.
Yeah.
So you have no reason not to level up.
That's right. Absolutely. The next one we have on the list here is an exciting one. It's called Be Driven. And I got to tell you something. You want to talk about someone who's been driven? You're looking at one who's been driven. And here's the thing. Because she's so smart, she was able to latch on to a person that was driven. Even if you're not like ultra or uber driven, you should also have the resonance about it to see, you know, again, someone that's driven is going to attract other people who enjoy someone being driven, right?
And the other thing is, I was driven in different ways. He was driven in career.
Yes.
And I was driven in lifestyle.
Yeah, I was hungry.
And I was hungry for lifestyle. I had a great lifestyle growing up, and I was like, I want that now. I don't want to have to wait, until I'm older. I want that now.
Yeah.
And I knew I could get it with him. But that's not when we got married. But I was like, okay, this guy, again, like attracts like, right? Yeah. I was like, he's driven. He wants his career and I'm like, you go, Gutty, you go. And I was like,
she
this.
Was a good cheerleader.
If you guys are not watching this and you're listening, I'm pretending I'm holding on to his coattails, and I was just shaking along, going, come on, I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you, because I was his coach. I was like, because I was just as driven. I just didn't have the acumen in his profession.
He's gonna get me my stuff. Hey, if I hang out with this guy, I might get my stuff. And then I was always like, this is fantastic. Because, she just was very encouraging. You can do it. Go, go, go. We would lay in the bed and just dream about, our life together, where we would be and what we'd be doing, right?
Yeah, and we succeeded those. It's beautiful. Yeah.
We succeeded those, exactly.
This is a guy who never left the country when he was a kid, right?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe Canada.
Maybe country, not much even the state.
Yeah.
But,
and he's because of his career, his drive, he's been in over 40 countries? 50 countries because of his drive. Yeah. So again, that driven, you don't know where that will get you one day and get you as the spouse or get you even as your own personal. Because remember, we're doing this for yourself.
So again, you need to have some energy, guys. Again, we're talking about, our dating advice and who you're looking to attract. You need to have some energy.
And we say, be everything you want in a spouse. You be that. So that's why I was saying he did that for himself. Yeah. And I became the person that I was always driven by. Like, I knew I wanted the successful life. I knew I wanted the things in life.
And she was so together. And what was really incredible about that is it was like it was easy for her.
It was.
It was so easy for her. I would see her hair would be bouncing and she'd be in a nice dress, and everything she touched was like expensive. It's like, I know, my gosh.
But again, when you grow up to a certain level, you expect certain things, and then you want more.
Right.
So, I grew up very nice, in a nice environment. So I knew, okay, this is the base. Right. And now I want more. And, I had parents who would encourage that. Nobody said, don't go beyond your raisings or whatever. I don't even know what that saying is because I've never heard it. But what is it called?
Something like that.
Don't something beyond your raising or whatever. Yeah. But my parents were like, you go. My dad was, you get that. My dad taught me how to shop. My dad took me into Tiffany's.
My father-in-law was so cool. He was a cool dude, man. He was such a smooth operator.
Yeah. My dad taught, we go to Bergdorf's. If you guys know what Bergdorf's is, and Bendel's and Tiffany's, that was normal for my dad to take us to those shops. Macy's was, it's Macy's.
Yeah.
But we were Neiman's, Right. And so I knew that that's the lifestyle that I wanted, Yeah. And again, quality. My mom, she made our clothes and they were beautiful. My mother made my wedding dress. My mother made my sister's wedding dress.
Yeah. Right.
So she had such class and such quality of style. Yeah. And so, it just came natural, but I knew what I wanted. And
so those of you who are looking for your SP or that special person and you're making a list, you be that list.
Yeah.
You be the list. Make the list, but you be the list. Now, here's another one. Be considerate. Yeah. Be considerate. Again, this is one where Corey, my wife, she gets a gold star here. And really, Beauty, so I call her Beauty as my nickname for her. How did you learn to be considerate? You're so considerate of people.
I have to say that came from my mom. Yeah, my mom, I can remember she was very considerate of others. Yeah. Very considerate. So we grew up in a household that was just normal.
Right.
So there's a difference between being kind and considerate. Right. They go hand in hand, kind and considerate.
Exactly.
However, you can be kind and then don't consider other people. You're kind in your path, your tunnel. But considerate is stepping out of the tunnel and seeing others.
Right.
And so my mom was very, very good at that. And I have to say, my grandfather, I can remember my mother talking about her dad, And my grandfather was a mailman, and everyone on his route knew Ernie. They knew him, and he volunteered a lot. So, Yeah, I really believe it was from my mom. And my dad, he was, well, I don't know if my dad was as considerate as my mom. I would have to say that's my mom. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. Now, wait a minute. What about you? How did
I'm
you
not.
become-
I'm not
Yeah.
actually not as. I'm not so considerate, But I don't know what
I'm not.
What helped me in that regard, because again, I attracted a person who's highly considerate, and maybe that rubbed off on me over time.
Yeah, I think it did.
I think it rubbed off on me over the years, which is good. So that means, again, thank you, God, because I am not so considerate as I would be. And I mean, I've learned over the years to do better at that. So if you're struggling with that, then, me too. Here's another one, a huge one called Be Clean. And we're talking about hygiene wise first, but then everything else as well. But again, if you don't take care of your body and if you're not clean hygiene wise, I can imagine that you're a slob in everything else that you do. Now, this Be Clean hygiene wise is going to hit somebody between the eyes, and it really should, because if you cannot take care of your most prized possession, that's is your body, we only get one, right?
Yep.
Then I just don't know.
Yeah, so let's get to the details. What's that mean?
Okay, so take a shower.
And wait, not take a shower and clean yourself.
Yeah, take a shower, use some soap.
But here's one. Here's the little things. Here's the little things that matter. Floss.
Yeah, oh my God, yes.
How many people have you met and you can see while they're talking to you, you can see the caked between their teeth? Is that you?
Ladies
Just
and gentlemen,
floss.
that should never be.
Just floss.
Yeah.
Or clean your nails. How many people do you talk to who have dirt under their nails? Now, here's the difference.
Now, some of you are struggling with someone who might be this way. Make sure they see this podcast.
Yeah, but don't show them just this part. Say, watch the whole thing.
Yeah, watch the whole thing.
But here's the thing. We know people who work in landscape and their nails are clean when they finish work.
Oh, yeah.
When they go out for the evening, you wouldn't know that their hands are landscape hands.
Right, yeah.
So it's not a matter of, well, I have dirty nails. No, you can clean your nails.
That's good.
Clean them, groom yourself, shave completely. Don't miss spots.
Oh, my God,
So many
yes.
times I look at men and I'm like, right there. You just missed it right there.
Yeah, one little piece.
Or pluck your eyebrows, women. Shape your eyebrows. Clean your hair.
Yeah, and guys, if you're up in the age a little bit, maybe past 50 or into 60, what you want to also do is clean those gray hairs out of your nose.
Okay.
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah,
get your ears, get
Oh,
the
man.
hairs out of your ears.
Yes.
Somebody I'm talking to.
You are.
There's somebody is happy I'm saying that, right?
That's true. You're
I'm
right.
telling guys, clean your ears,
Yes.
clean your nose.
Yes.
Right?
And when you brush your teeth, brush your tongue.
Yeah.
That's your breath. Brush
Right.
inside. I know this sounds so minimal, like I can't believe they're talking about this, but who's talking about it?
No,
What
exactly.
podcast are you going to listen to
Yeah.
that's talking about this?
Right. That's
Clean the
good.
roof of your mouth. Brush it.
Right.
Clean your gums.
That's right.
These are things. Listen, when I go to the dentist, you know what they always said about me? Your teeth are so clean. They're
Yeah.
beautiful. And I say, thank you.
Yeah.
And they're like, do you floss every day? I said, I don't have to floss every day because I brush. They're like, you're right. And then I talk to the hygienist. I'm like, okay, while my mouth is open, tell me some stories. And
Yeah.
they tell me stories. They're like, oh, one time. And they don't tell them which patient it is, but they have to clean your mouth.
Yeah.
Somebody else has to clean your nasty mouth. So keep your mouth clean. Keep your mouth clean.
That's too much. We're having a lot of fun here talking about dating advice. I don't know how
This is going to be a two-parter.
This is back to the whole dating thing. But let me say this hygiene wise in terms of being clean is really important.
Yeah.
And that actually leads into, like, my wife is uber clean on everything. Our house is so orderly. Everything is clean. And I gotta say this, I really, really appreciate that.
You do.
And I actually brought that to the table as well. My father was a clean freak.
Yeah.
And when we were growing up, I mean, he made sure that we all knew how to clean the house and he'd make sure we take turns doing it and
That's
that
right.
kind of thing. So I have a high level of appreciation for cleanliness.
Yeah. And I can tell you, for you parents out there, teach your children how to
Amen.
clean the house.
Yes, absolutely.
My mother gave us chores. Now, my mother was a single parent for, let's see, I can't remember how many years, but my mother taught us how to clean.
Yeah.
And our responsible, because she was a single parent, she was working. So she's like, when you girls come home from school, do your schoolwork and clean.
Yeah.
Or Saturdays was clean day.
Right.
When we were kids, Saturday was clean day. It wasn't, oh, I'm going to the soccer field. You are going where? you better clean that bathroom first. There was no,
right.
oh, my
Do
kids,
your chores.
Saturday was chores day.
Yeah.
Nowadays, Saturday is when you take all your kids out to all their sports. No.
Yeah,
You're going
right.
to get those chores done sometime. It was Friday night, during the weeknight, whatever.
Yeah.
But teach your children how to clean.
Excellent.
Because you know what? They're going to marry somebody one day, and it's either you're never going to visit because it's going to be nasty,
Right.
or they're never getting married because nobody wants to marry that nasty. We have another friend who married a man who was nasty. She gave him his own bathroom, and his bathroom was disgusting because he was never taught to clean. His mama had a housekeeper who would come in and clean the house for them. Wow. And so she was like, this is filthy. I mean, when they got married, they bought white furniture, and that white sofa became beige and brown and black and gray. But again,
crazy.
if you don't teach your kids how to clean, they don't know what cleanliness is.
Right.
And again, what are you thinking? When you see somebody that lives dirty, don't you wonder what their body's like?
Yeah.
I mean, it's, or their cars.
That's
Stephen,
right.
you were always great about keeping a clean car, and you taught our daughters to keep a clean car.
So,
to keep a clean car is so important because people get in that car. And washing, our youngest daughter is so good. She's like, I get my car washed because she knows Dad always had the car washed.
Yeah, absolutely. Take care of it.
Yeah, cleanliness is not just a one category.
Actually, there's a scripture in the Bible that says cleanliness is next to godliness.
Yeah, I don't know where that is in the Bible.
Where that's at,
I don't know if somebody Are you sure, or did somebody create it? Okay. But in all these aspects, we're talking about healthy. There's all aspects of healthy. Physically fit. There's all aspects of physically fit, and we're talking about cleanliness. There's all aspects of cleanliness.
Right.
So.
And then again, we're talking about, this is the dating advice, but the last one that we want to talk about
before dating, getting yourself ready before dating.
Yeah,
yes, dating.
Yeah, and you be the list.
Yeah.
For what you have. Okay,
right.
so next is be successful. Right.
Yes.
Be successful. All right. You don't want to attract someone that's a slob and lazy, but guess what? If you're a slob and you're lazy, then that's what you're going to attract.
And success doesn't necessarily mean making a lot of money.
Yes.
Success means whatever
but that's important. The money is important.
But whatever you're doing, and you could be at an age right now where you're like, I don't make a lot of money right now.
Yep.
However, whatever you're doing in life, be great at it.
Right.
Do your best to be great at it, because that's what breeds success. Your greatness breeds success. Your greatness doesn't come after the success. It comes before.
That's right.
Your success is an offshoot of the greatness. So train
again,
yourself.
When we say this, be successful, that means also be able to support yourself.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay?
Yes.
Be successful in terms of you're not looking for a man or you're not looking for a woman that is going to support you.
Okay.
Be successful.
I got another story. See, we've got these stories for you. Okay. So there's
on a roll.
And these are all women. Okay. Women, watch yourselves.
Yeah. Amen.
Raise your expectations. This woman who's successful, who took care of herself before she started even dating this guy, she lived on her own. She did great for herself. She married a man who never lived on his own, who had roommates at one point, and they all couldn't pay their bills so much so that he was kicked out. They were, what's it called? Not evacuated. Evicted.
Yeah.
And he had to go back home and live with mom and dad.
Yeah, that's
And
crazy.
this is a grown man, okay? This grown man had to live with mom and dad and didn't have to pay anything.
Yeah.
And his credit score was terrible, and she married him. She knew this beforehand, and she married him. So guess what happened? Everything they had to sign had to go in her name because he had bad credit.
See, that's...
He bought a car in her name because he had bad credit.
We're working to get you guys not to be in that situation.
Yes, don't do this.
Okay?
Do not do this.
That's our dating advice.
Yeah.
Right?
So that's it for this episode. But we've got
it's not, because again, I want to make sure that we drive this point home that you attract who you are. If you are making a list and your goal is to be that list first yourself, okay, then the next thing what you want to do is you want to hang out in a community or in an environment where people are just like you, meaning they have a very similar list, okay? Because guess what? In that point, you're going to more than likely cross paths with someone else that also is very, very concise about the list that they have.
Right.
And so they're living like you. So we're going to stop here for part one of our two-part series. And we're going to pick up on part number 2 with dating advice.
Yeah, so just remember to like, subscribe, and share with your friends, and catch us on audio. When you listen to the audio podcast, go find us on Get It Together Together. And if you're watching the podcast, look for us under Stephen and Corey. We are excited to share with you the next season, and this episode 1, and next is episode 2. We'll see you in a minute.
Thanks.